We'll now focus our attention onto boxing. The fight that has been announced, it's been announced for a fair old while now. It's Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Saul Canelo Alvarez, very decorated career. One of the best resumes in boxing today. And at such a young age as well, he's a very young man. Yet he's managed to accumulate 48 victories with 1 defeat and 1 loss. 34 KOs in those 48 wins. The only loss being one of the greatest fighters of all time, Floyd Mayweather Jr. So Canelo's resume is looking amazing. When you look at the names he's covered at his age, it's crazy. Really is a shoo-in for future Hall of Famer. Wins over Sugar Shane Mosley, Kermit Cintrone, Austin Notrout. Contentious victory over Erislandy Lara. He did get the win. Some people thought that was a bit dubious. Some people had it for Lara. That comprehensive KO over Amir Khan. You know, he's just coming off a comprehensive stoppage of Liam Smith. Smith put in a good shift, but Canelo just had too much power, too much skill, and he got Liam Smith out of there. So that record is very strong. Then we've got Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., 31 now. Again, extensive record. I mean, the numbers stack up quite nicely. 50 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 32 victories by KO. So fairly impressive. Chavez Jr., he has just come off a victory over Dominic Bridge, a unanimous decision. That was only in December 2016, so he's reasonably active. He has a victory over Andy Lee, former world champion at 160. Obviously, he was defeated by Billy Joe Saunders recently. So this is 2 decent records. I think what's going to be interesting is the weight issue here. Canelo Alvarez is moving up 11 pounds to take this fight on at 160. But Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has fought at different weights. He has a defeat on his record to Andres Fonfara at light heavyweight. And now he's fighting Canelo down at middleweight. He's fought at sort of both weights and in between. He's fought all around. So the size issue is going to be interesting here. Canelo's moving up to that 160 range, the range that he's being asked to face GGG at. And Cesar Chavez Jr. is kind of moving down. Is Cesar Chavez Jr. going to be drained at that weight? Or is he going to be comfortable? Is Canelo going to feel uncomfortable moving up to this 160? Well, my view on this, Canelo will be fine at 160. He's quite a big dude anyway. Won't have any trouble. This is the weight that he wants to fight at anyway. That's where it's always been moving towards, so it's not a surprise he's fighting there. I think he was shredding weight before to make this 154 type weight bracket, so he's going to be fine weight-wise. Chavez Jr., there have been question marks about his commitment to training and his focus in his career at times. Not to say he isn't in the right frame of mind now. And there's a stipulation in the contract, I believe, saying that he has to reach the weight. Otherwise, there are serious penalties for him financially. So we can assume that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is going to come in shape. He's going to make the weight. I would have thought he'd make the weight well in advance and get comfortable back at the 160, just to make sure. This is such a big fight on a big stage for a big purse. And it's a huge opportunity for him. The bookmakers have it. Saul Canelo Alvarez, 2 to 11 is the best price. There is a lot of 1 to 7s around, but 2 to 11 is the best price available. The draw is 25 to 1. You can get Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at 53 to 10. So that's just over 5 to 1 on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. My gut reaction when I heard about this was just Canelo. But then when you look into the analysis, there's a lot more to it. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., pressure fighter. Lots of flurries to the body, likes to trade, doesn't mind getting up close. He does have a useful jab, doesn't use it that much. He's not scared to trade at all. I mean, Fonfara has stopped him, but Fonfara is known to be a heavy hitter. He's a big man, and just the fact that he fights at that weight, light heavy, and trades and does a decent job against Fonfara tells you that he's a useful guy and he's a big guy. So if anyone is going to be capable of taking Canelo's best work, then he is. Canelo is extremely powerful. The shots to the body, the big shot that stopped Liam Smith to the body, the big shot that stopped Amir Khan, he is heavy-handed at whatever weight he fights at. I don't know, maybe he'll feel stronger at this weight moving up, which, could further enhance his power and enhance his claims. I see that there is an opportunity for Chavez Jr. I do think the longer it goes on, the more Canelo will assert his influence and get the win. Um, I mean, I've got in my mind, I'm sort of thinking Canelo can get a TKO here late on. That's what I'm thinking, but because I'm not sure, I'm going to stick to the method of, I'm going to leave the method of victory alone and just look for the straight win. I think Canelo, this career he's got at his age, he's a special fighter, he's a one-off. He's got motivation here. This GGG fight has been hanging around. There was that incident where, well, GGG has been putting it on him for a long time, and Canelo came on the mic after a victory, and the translator was translating into English, and Canelo said something along the lines of, "We don't F around, you know, in Mexico. We don't shy away from fights," that sort of thing. And I don't think he personally is shying away. The reason the fight is being delayed is for money. They're trying to build the fight up. Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions. I think Tom Loeffler and GGG, they just like to get in the ring and fight. That team, I think it's a great team. That Loeffler promoter, Abel Sanchez trainer, GGG fighter. I think it works quite well. They're not a flash group. Sort of, they're not flash. They're not audacious, but they're very efficient and they're very focused and they're very serious and they're very dangerous. I think they suit each other very well. The three of them, the personalities. I think they have a good relationship, all three of them. And they all seem to pretty much speak off the same hymn sheet. When they're all talking, they all say a similar sort of thing. And they don't say anything out of place without confirming it with the other. You know, Sanchez will also say, "Oh, well, I'll have to confirm that with Tom." Or he doesn't say anything out of turn that he's not sure about. They're quite a solid team, the three of them. And also on Canelo's side, it's all about business. It's all about money. Canelo is a cash cow. He's the biggest cash cow in the sport. He's the biggest name. He's got the resume. He's been in the ring with Mayweather, which gives him that. It gives him something that other fighters that are operating at the elite level these days don't have. If you've shared the ring with Floyd, whether you've drawn, won, or lost, you know, and especially where he put on a decent show, he didn't get completely shamed. He was a bit too slow. Floyd was too intelligent and too quick for him. But he didn't lose face. It's a loss on his record. Nobody even refers to it, other than to say he shared a ring with Floyd Mayweather Jr. and held up his end. So yeah, that fight, he's going to have to win this, because if he loses it, GGG fight, which is a mega fight, and it's massive, we're all waiting for it, and we all want it. I think for that reason, we all lean towards Canelo to get the victory. From a sentimental point of view, a lot of people have it for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and there is a part of me that would like to pick it for him, and I can see him having a chance, because he's heavy-handed, that issue of having fought at a bigger weight, the fact that it's a massive fight for him, huge fight on a big stage, chance to, you know, get back right to the pinnacle of boxing in a big fight, with people having said things about questioning his commitment. Obviously, you know, with his father and everything, he's going to be a very proud man. He's going to want to put in a good shift. So there is a chance for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Just over 5-1, 53-10. I don't know. I mean, I would have said I would have it around sort of 6-1, 13-2, something like that. I think it's a little bit low. Because Canelo, we have to understand that he's one of the greats, and he's going to go on to be a Hall of Famer, and he's going to go on to just be one of the names that is always referred to as one of the best. So I'm going to have to go with Saul Canelo Alvarez. In terms of how the fight will be, Canelo, he's a good boxer, obviously. He's been around a long time. He's fought everyone, and he knows how it goes, but sometimes, I mean, especially in that Khan fight, he kind of got a little bit outboxed for the first 6 rounds. If it wasn't for his heavy-handedness, he was just looking for chasing Khan around, waiting for his opportunity. And when it came, he landed, and he's so powerful, it only took one punch to take out Khan. But the thing is here for Canelo, he has to be careful. He has to take his time. If he takes this fight lightly, he's going to get a shock, because Chavez Jr. is no mug. His record is 50 wins. 50 wins in that career, 2 losses. I mean, look at the losses. It's Andres Fonfara at lightweight. We know Fonfara is serious, okay? We know that he doesn't mess about. That war he had with Nathan Cleverly recently, what a fight that was on PBC. We know that he's serious. So losing to him, we're not going to hold it against him. And the other loss is Sergio Martinez. Sergio Martinez, legend. Superb record, superb fighter. So how can we look past Julio Cesar Chavez and assume that Canelo is just going to walk this? We can't assume that. It might be a little bit more difficult than we have in mind, but my call here will be Saul Canelo Alvarez at 2-11. I think he'll find a way to get it done if it gets difficult. He'll find a way to get this done. It'll be points or a late stoppage. We're going to go with Canelo Alvarez on this one. And one thing's for sure, it's a good fight, and don't sleep on this one. A lot of people are just, lethargic about this one. This is a big fight, and it's going to be a good fight, and we look forward to it.